a while. I will start again. So, if you'd like to see more of me, please subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the support and for waiting for me because I was posting every day and then I got really sick and I've had a mysterious illness. If you've watched any of my videos, you've probably heard me talk about this, but I've had a mysterious illness for 2.5 months now, and it just has been getting worse and better and worse and better, so I had to take a little break. There was no way I could have filmed, but I'm back. I'm gonna keep filming for as many days as I can. And I'll let you know when we figure out what's going on, but anyways, let's just tap on some stuff and ramble. What is that noise? Did you hear that? There was a parade today. Downtown. I live in a somewhat small town in British Columbia, Canada, and it's so cute and pretty here, and we took our dog to the dog park. Here, let me start tapping on something. This is a hotel key card. It's wood, isn't that cool? From a hotel we stayed at in Vancouver. And I love the sound of it. So we took my doggy, Toby is his name, to the dog park downtown, not knowing that there was a parade, and it's a nighttime light up parade. All the floats had Christmas lights all over them. So we took him, and Toby loves other dogs. He's somewhat afraid of people, so the parade was a lot for him. And this lady, very cute dressed lady, she was kind of dressed like an elf maybe. She had a big long candy cane like a prop. And she was waving it around and she was like, "Hello, Merry Christmas," like she was in the parade. And Toby got so mad at her. It was so funny. She thought it was funny too. Thankfully it didn't scare her too bad because he's a big dog, but this sweet old lady is who you picked to get mad at. He thought she was a threat with her candy cane. Anyways, yeah, we just happened upon that parade. I didn't know it was happening today. Because I've been sick, I haven't been doing much. The ski hill is now open and I would like to go soon if I can. I have 2 of these cards. Let's see if it sounds any different if I put them together. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, it opened a little bit late. The ski hill opened a little late because it didn't have enough snow for the first couple of weeks, but now it's opened. I think it opened December 4th, so I have a season's pass. I can't wait to use it. I've never had a season's pass before because I've always lived in Texas. Houston, Texas does not have a ski hill nearby. Obviously, it's on the ocean. I also got a new phone case. This is one of those biodegradable phone cases called Pella, or Pila, I don't know. P-E-L-A. It's clear. And then this side is the biodegradable material. It's just a photo of me and my husband that I put inside of it from a photo booth, but I was in dire need of a new phone case. I've always bought this brand because it is sustainable. And they had a Black Friday deal, buy one, get one free, and my husband also needed one. And then I also got... Did you hear that? That was Toby. I also got the cases that were on sale, so I think for 2 of them it was like 20 something bucks, which for this brand is very cheap. Like 20 something total. So that was one Black Friday deal that was worth it. I think that was the only thing I bought. We're not spending money this year, unfortunately. Or fortunately. The longer we can save money, the longer I have until I have to go back to a corporate job. And I don't really want to go back to a corporate job. I just want to ski and work at the winery. Because that is what makes me happy. If I can get better and I can get back out there, you know. This is the box that the phone case came in. Like this. What does it say? It says, Bella, look at you. Out here saving waves. For every dollar you've spent, you saved a wave. Learn more at bella.earth. This is a Canadian company too. And I was buying these phone cases in Texas before I knew it was even a Canadian company, and then I moved here and they actually make these cases very close to me, which is cool, which is very cool. We just drove to Vancouver a couple of days ago for me to do a full body MRI to figure out again what's going on. I don't have the results yet. But I gotta tell you, I love Vancouver. It's the best city ever. Like, if it wasn't so expensive to live there, I would definitely live there right now. It is very walkable. It feels safe. There are a lot of like drug problems. There's a lot of people on drugs running around, but that's like every city. I think for people in Canada, it's a little bit like they're not used to seeing it as much as people from the US seeing homeless people. But for me, being from a large US city, it's like whatever. Like, I can tell it really bothers people here that there are homeless people out and about, but just part of late stage capitalism, right? I used to work with homeless people in Houston, and I would volunteer with them a lot, so I'm not like scared of them. But yeah, there's a lot of people on drugs in Vancouver. But other than that, even with that, I mean, I never feel unsafe. I love walking around. There were so many Christmas lights right now. We took the bus a couple of times we took the bus to a park. What is the big park there? There's one big park that's really popular because it's pretty. I don't know. It's just like the prettiest city. There's mountains. The skyline is beautiful. They made all of their buildings like the same color blue. And I'm a sucker for buildings. Like, I love a skyline, so. scared of the small space. But my bad. But so they gave me the pill. They gave me a pill. 2 of them. I wanted to try one before to make sure I didn't have any weird side effects to it. So the first night we had pizza, we watched, I think it was the Dancing with the Stars Christmas special was on that night. I took the pill. Best sleep of my life. Best sleep of my life. And then the next day, I'm going to tap on a book next, and I'll tell you about it after I'm done rambling about Vancouver. The next day, we got up. My MRI was at 2 p.m., so we walked to a breakfast spot. That had like a good vegetarian sandwich for me. And then we took the bus to the park like I talked about. It was kind of cold and rainy, which is just anytime you go to Vancouver, that's usually what the weather is. It's like Seattle. Right next to Seattle, really. Same climate. And then, so we took the bus to the park and then went back to the hotel. Had a piece of pizza. I watched, I think, just some, like, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, the reality show. Watched the reality show for like an hour while my pill kicked in again. And then I felt pretty good because of that. Thank God for modern medicine, am I right? I wish I had more of that stuff for when I've been feeling bad because it helped me sleep so much. Am I blurry? It helped me sleep so much. So yeah, I did the MRI. It was very long. I asked the guy to talk to me, like keep me updated on what was going on so I didn't start panicking, and he was really good about that. Well, it was good probably for the first hour, and then the last 30 minutes I think they switched people, and the new guy didn't get the memo, so I was in there without hearing anyone for a long time. But they were very nice. Typical Canadians. They kept saying, good job. You're doing a good job. They're probably so used to people panicking in there. I definitely was not one of the worst people they have, I'm sure. Because I didn't like make them stop or anything. I know when my mom goes to an MRI, she has to be like talked down every time she presses the button to get like released out of there multiple times. I can just imagine how they feel having to deal with her. It's so funny. But so yeah, that happened, and then we stayed there for that night too. The hotel we were in was so nice. It's called the Exchange. Like I showed you the card for it. The Exchange Hotel in Vancouver. So, afterwards we had really good ramen there was a place that had good reviews in walking distance from the MRI place, so we got ramen. And then went back to the hotel. There was a dessert, but this is what I love about big cities. You can get anything by walking. There was a dessert place on our block that had a vegan cake. Like a little slice of vegan cake. So we walked there, got that, and then we watched the Jonas Brothers Christmas movie, which was actually pretty good. Again, I was still pretty I was the most calm I've ever been because of that medicine, so I fell asleep so easily, and the second best sleep of my life. It was so nice. I've been sleeping so bad. Part of whatever is going on with me is I'm waking up panicked and sweating and with chest pain. nervous system, which that means they won't be able to see it on MRI, but whatever, I still wanted to make sure I was not like, I don't have a brain tumor or something, but don't let that scare you, I'll be fine. So, yeah, and so yeah, I slept really well that night, and then the next morning, we just drove back. And when we got back, we picked up our puppy dog from, there's like a daycare, overnight place that he can stay at where he gets to play all day, and then he goes home and, he doesn't go home, he sleeps there, and then he gets to play all the next day. So he did that for 3 days in a row, and he was so tired. But I know he's so social, I'm sure he loved it. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Again, I really love Vancouver, and maybe we'll make that happen in the next couple of years, live there. If I could live there, or like New York City or Chicago, that would be a dream. I just really love big cities, but because I'm on this break from work, a little sabbatical, if you will, it's so much cheaper to live in a smaller city. And I don't know if I want the type of job that it would be required for a large city. You probably understand that. Okay, let me talk about this book. We have a very cute bookstore, used bookstore, a couple blocks from where I live, and I stopped in a few months ago. It was still warm out, so it was probably like August or September. I stopped in, and I got to chatting with the lady. She was so chatty. Seemed like she really wanted to chat, and usually I'm in the mood, so I was there to chat with her. She suggested this book. It is very cute. I haven't had a chance to read it yet because I keep getting books coming up from the library, like books I had on hold are becoming available, and I have to read those first, so I'm able to read them and I don't have to like get rid of them. So finally had a break in those books, and this is called The Rosie Project. It is, I'll read the little blurb, it's quick. Don Tillman has a brilliant scientific mind, but social situations confound him. He's never had a second date, and so, in the evidence-based manner in which he approaches all things, he embarks upon the Wife Project. A 16-page questionnaire to find the perfect partner. Then in walks Rosie Jarman. Rosie is on a quest of her own. She's looking for her biological father, asserts that a certain genetics expert might just be able to help her with. Soon Dawn puts the Wife Project on the back burner in order to help Rosie pursue the father project. As an unlikely relationship blooms, Dawn is about to realize that despite the best scientific efforts, you don't find love, love finds you. I have read books like this before that are in the POV, if you will, of someone who very obviously has like, I think this guy has Asperger's. He spoke at an Asperger's convention. His friends asked him to do that, realizing that the friends realize that he has it, but the guy that's narrating doesn't realize he has it. He thinks he's just like very bad at social interaction. He realizes he doesn't think like everyone else, but he's very obviously never been diagnosed, which is super interesting. And I'm interested to see if he ever finds out, or if this whole book just goes on. I'm only halfway through, but like finishes with him not knowing that he has it. Always very interesting to read from the perspective of someone that's like neurologically different than you, and him trying to navigate dating with people who are like more neurotypical is very interesting, and kind of sad that he has such a hard time. But if you're not in his brain, like in this book, if I was just interacting with him in real life, I would probably think he was like very rude and cold and like unfeeling. But when you're reading from his perspective, you just realize that's just how he is. He's obviously like neurodivergent, and there are great things about not being, he's a very smart guy, not very emotional, and sometimes that is for good. Like, he is a professor, he does a lot of research, so it's a good thing. He also has an insane memory. As part of this project, they went on a little quest where he was bartending for this event. He had never bartended before, and there was like 100 people there, and he was able to remember everyone's names, and he also like just studied before doing this bartending. Like, he faked it that he was a bartender and that he could do it, and then he was like so good at suggesting drinks and stuff because he had memorized so many. I don't know, I just think it's so interesting to like be in someone else's mind like that. And I wonder how the author wrote this. Like, I doubt they have. Usually the people who write this stuff aren't necessarily neurodivergent. They're writing from the perspective of someone who is, so they must have to really interview people. This author, Graham Simpson, I don't know. He was the owner of a successful consulting business before he decided at 50 that he would become a writer. The Rosie Project is his first novel. That's crazy. Good for him. Good for you, Graham. I don't know, how would you say that? Graham. So yeah, the sweet lady at the bookshop, sweet older lady, suggested this book, and then also a thriller that I haven't gotten to yet, but I think the thriller is even smaller than this, so I'm enjoying these smaller books after reading the third book in the Beartown trilogy, which was like 600 pages. It was ridiculous, and it wasn't big text, it was tiny. And you would think that the Beartown trilogy being a 600-page book, like, it would be a fantasy, because most fantasies are that long, but it was just literary fiction. So it was so long. I don't find many books. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep rambling. I don't find many books that are that long that I really love. I don't. Or, like, I end up really liking them in the end, but in the middle of it, I'm kind of annoyed with how long it is, you know? I think most 600-page books could be really condensed down into, like, maybe 300 or 400. I mean, I think that about a lot of things, too, like plays. Like, if I'm going to the theater, I want it to be max an hour, and they're always like 3 or 4 hours long with an intermission. I've thought about creating a business for people with ADHD, or like a, not a charity, a foundation, I don't know. Club, I don't know. Where, you have plays that are summaries of big plays, or movies where, like I don't want to go watch an hour and a half of Wicked. We'll condense it into 30 minutes, so it still makes sense, and you're still getting the experience of watching the movie, but you can actually focus for the full 30 minutes, like specifically targeted to people with ADHD. Because if you did not know, I know most people these days have some type of attention deficit problem, but I was diagnosed when I was junior in high school, before it was really like a thing, before social media was big and stuff like that. So I just prefer shorter things. And asking me to sit for a 3-hour-long play is a little silly. And I know you want to get your money's worth, but honestly, I would pay the same amount of money to just see a shorter version of it to still get that experience and not have to sit for as long. I'm kind of jealous of people who really love plays. Like, it seems like a very fulfilling thing, like, that love theater and movies. It seems like a fulfilling hobby to be a part of. So yeah, let's all hope that I continue feeling better. I am a little bit better today, which is why I'm recording, and they don't go back downhill. And that the doctors figure out what the heck is wrong with me, because I would like to eventually find a job, or just go back to the winery during the busy season in the spring and summer, because I do not like hanging out at home. I'm way too social for that, so okay. I think it's time for me to go to bed, and maybe it's time for you to go to work. And yeah, I'll do my best to post tomorrow, so please subscribe.